the Secret Service are an extremely important part in our government. They play a big role in protecting the president, and also are important in dealing with the currency of the United States. The Secret Service were established on July 5, 1865 in Washington, D.C. The original duty of the Secret Service was actually not protecting the president, but rather protect frauds against the government. In 1877, Congress made a strong law against counterfeit money. The people to enforce this law was the Secret Service. It took another 6 years for the Secret Service to officially be part of the Treasury Department for the U.S. government. In 1884, the Secret Service began to protect President Cleveland unofficially. In 1901, President McKinley was assassinated, so Congress put in a request to the Secret Service to protect the president full-time. In 1902, the Secret Service agreed to protect the president full-time. In 1906, the Secret Service go to investigate Western land frauds and return millions of acres of land back to the government. In 1908, the Secret Service began to protect candidates for presidency. In 1917, the Secret Service protect the immediate family of the president. In 1930, the Secret Service members are placed in the White House full-time. In 1961, the Secret Service find it necessary to protect former presidents. However, they don't find it necessary to protect them for their entire lives. In 1968, they decide to protect presidents until their death or until they remarry. They will also protect all former presidents' children until the age of 16. In 1997, it was decided that lifetime protection was not needed. They chose 10 years after leaving office. All of the presidents who were promised lifetime protection were still protected for their lifetime. The Secret Service are an important asset to the president's safety, but the system to protect the president was never flawless, and to this day it still is not flawless. There are a total of 15 direct attempted attacks on the president's life. Before the full-time protection of the president, there were 3 presidents killed. Since 1902, 110 years ago, only 2 presidents have been killed. This is a great accomplishment for the Secret Service. There have been other attacks on the president, but where either he was only wounded or something happened that the Secret Service could stop it. The first attempted assassination on a president was in 1835. A man by the name Richard Lawrence tried to shoot Andrew Jackson, but the pistol misfired. The next attempt to kill a president was over 30 years later when Abraham Lincoln was shot and killed by John Booth. 16 years later, in 1881, James Garfield was shot and killed. The final attempt of assassination, before the Secret Service protected the president full-time, was against President McKinley. He was shot and killed. Congress finally decided that the president needed protection full-time. It then took another 51 years before the next assassination took place. This is the more famous murder of President JFK. This murder was an eye-opener to the Secret Service. President JFK didn't want the Secret Service so close to the car so that people could see him better. That obviously did not turn out well. 5 years later, in 1968, President Robert Kennedy was shot and killed. This is the last assassination of a president, and hopefully the last one ever. But this is not the last attempt of an assassination on a president. There have been another 6 attempts, 2 on Gerald Ford himself, within a couple of weeks. The first attempt, the pistol misfired, and the second one, the shot was missed. The most recent attempt was in 2005 on George Bush, when a grenade was thrown on stage, but it never exploded. This shows that there are still flaws in the protection of the presidents, but facts show that it is very good and is definitely needed. The Secret Service are an extremely important piece of our government because they protect who represents us as a country, and that is the most important thing.